All right, all right, all right. Let's. It's somewhere over here, right? I think this one will get me started. I think that's it. Maybe. I think so. Hey there, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
That was quiet. Can we do that again?
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is February 7th, 2025, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. It looks like Twitch is dropping a message into my chat room. It looks like Twitch is nudging things along and starting a little bit of conversation. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. Now I've got YouTube up. Now I can see what's going on the tube of views. For all of you that are watching over there on YouTube, hello, hello. Let me bring up the chat room, and you might see a little bit of what's going on right over here. It's my partner anniversary. February 7th, 2019, I was awarded Twitch Partner. I am 5 years a partner on the Twitch platform. I don't know. It's been 10 years that I've been a partner on YouTube, something like that. I've been a partner on YouTube for a while. Partner on YouTube gets you nothing. It doesn't do anything. But here on Twitch, there's a handful of things they give you. A bunch more emotes. Every now and again, they send you a tchotchke in the mail. But quite frankly, they haven't sent me anything since pandemic, so it's been 5 years. But like whatever. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. It's great to see you, friends. Oh my gosh, C Sharp Josh, getting us started here.
Josh just resubscribed for 60 months.
60 months. Thank you so much for that support. 5 years. Wow. Thank you, Josh. Let me say hello to everybody here in chat. TMKDK. Oh, you want to take a look at that? Go ahead, take a look. Take a look. There we go. Getting things started. How you doing there? Ramtena, Surly Dev. My gosh, thank you so much for the congratulations here. Corey Hurricane Weathers is here. How you doing there, Corey? Chris Funk. Make sure you check out. Corey's been running streams on Saturdays. Make sure you check out what he's been doing over there. If a moderator can drop a shout out to Corey L. Weathers, I'd appreciate that. Chris Funk, yeah, I'm back in the States from Sweden. We'll talk about my visit to the fine town of Stockholm and the touring that I did of Stockholm. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute here. PC Nerd, hello. Thindal, hey, there we go. There's one of our Swedish friends. Yeah, missed you out there, buddy. But that's okay. That's all right. I'm glad to hear that you're getting better. Sir Timmy, hello. Eric is here. Jean Valjean, that's Coder 24601 to you. Hello, hello. That Junie Von Esch. Thank you so much. Great to see you. So the conference was pretty good. Let me talk to you in just a little bit. Yeah, there it is. So the bot recognized it's my Wrexham AFC crest hat. And I wear this hat frequently when I travel. I look at this as something that doesn't immediately recognize me, like identify me as American. So I was recognized. The hat was recognized and called out by somebody for the first time while I was in Europe. Of course, I was in London, and I was at there's a pub at the one end of Terminal 5 in London Heathrow, and I got breakfast there. And as I'm walking through and sitting down, a gentleman walks by and says, "Hey, great hat." And I don't think he was expecting the American accent coming back. "Hey, thanks a lot. I'm a big fan of Wrexham." I don't think he was expecting that because, and he continued on his way. So, yeah, up the town. There you go. Look, the bot even got that message right. There we go. Hey, there's Robert Tables. Hello, hello. Go see the hurricane. Absolutely. So, let me see. So while I was travel over to the event was fantastic. So I was in Stockholm for the last few days. I was actually only in Stockholm. I like to say it was 2.5 days. I flew out Sunday night, arrived Monday afternoon in Stockholm. I was very fortunate to have open seats next to me on all 4 legs of my trip here. Flight from Philadelphia to London, London to Stockholm. I had open seats next to me, all 4 flights. That never happens, but okay. So a little bit of room to stretch out and relax, and I actually got some very restful sleep on my flights there. So when I arrived on Monday afternoon, I was quite well rested. I was in pretty good shape. Um, and then the next morning, I literally jumped right into it. So I was only in town for 2 days, right? I mean, I didn't get to my hotel room till 4 o'clock. Um, it got cleaned up, got all my stuff unpacked, went to speaker dinner, socialized for a little bit, and the next morning I had 3 sessions that I delivered on Tuesday. So 2 sessions about .NET Aspire. At the event, I took off at lunchtime and gave a talk. Went to meet with a customer. Gave a talk to a company full of consultants, teaching them all about .NET Aspire. And that evening, I got some wonderful news from my health insurance company here in the States, and I literally spent an hour and a half on the phone with them and another half an hour on the phone with doctors, fighting the entire evening from Stockholm. Sure. Next morning, I hosted a panel discussion with our friends Gerald Verse Lewis and Stacy Cash. Stacy Clouds, you might see her stop by in Twitch every now and again. Great discussion about some of the things that are going on in tech. We talk about AI, some of the wild and woolly things that are going on in AI. Talked about those, and I had a fantastic conversation. It sounds like folks enjoyed the panel discussion as well. And then I gave another talk Wednesday evening at a user group teaching about .NET Aspire again. So 5 talks, 48 hours in town, and literally jumped out of town. So have you ever had this happen to your friends? You set your alarm to wake up at a certain time and it doesn't go off. But you do wake up about 2 hours later and go, man, I feel really refreshed. And then look at the clock and think, wow, that can't be the right time. And then you look at your watch and think, oh crap, it is the right time. I woke up 2 hours late to get to the airport. I had a 7:10 flight out of Stockholm, and I woke up at 4:45. So I literally threw all my junk in my bags, didn't even take a shower, and just ran for the airport. Now, I got downstairs, called for an Uber. Uber arrived, took the Uber to the airport. Fortunately, there was nobody in line at security. Literally nobody in line at security. I go through, and of course, I was randomly selected to have my bag further inspected. Like, I made it to my gate with a half an hour to spare, so I'm fine with that. Getting to see the city, I spent more time on trains and trams in Stockholm than I have spent in any other city. I did so much mass transit in Stockholm. Great system. And I got an unexpected tour of Stockholm because I got on the tram at one station and I thought I was going the right way. Turns out I wasn't. And I didn't find out until 6 stops later. Turned around, and what was supposed to be a 10-minute trip rode back the other way and ended up being 45 minutes. So that was fun. I didn't get to eat at any Swedish restaurants when I was in town. Didn't get to eat out. Didn't get to really see any sights. Get to participate. Take in any Swedish culture. I was running and working the whole time. I recorded a Blazer Puzzle podcast while I was there. I planned and scheduled 2 other podcast recordings while I was there. I was working the entire time, and I came home, and this morning I feel like I still didn't do enough. Like I wasted time while I was in town because I didn't get enough done. And it feels weird. It's this ugly imposter syndrome that I'm feeling, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know, friends. Let me see here. You've had the clock ring and you not start up. Oh my gosh, that's rough too. Yeah, Junie Vanesh says, spoilers, I made the plane. I did, yes. So that's right, I showered on the plane, Dr. Cox. You got it. Great to see you, my friend. Hello. You've overslept for a flight before. Fortunately, it was domestic. I have had the overslept for a flight when I was departing from Las Vegas. Fortunately, the hotel in Las Vegas that I was staying at was literally 5 minutes from the airport, so not as big a deal. Let me get some music playing in the background here, and we can chat a little bit more and then dive into some code. Great to see our friend Robert Tables there in the chat. Corey, hope you're having a fantastic day as well. Let me see here. I'm going to go with the Stream Beats Rock playlist here today, and we're going to start with this one called Machine. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like. Twitch, YouTube, doesn't matter. It's free for you to use. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music we're listening to today. You showed up 12 hours early for a flight once, got your flight changed, and made the wedding. Nice! All right, that's pretty cool. Thindall overslept for an international train. Oh, boy. Did I get Elvis's jacket? No. I have a picture taken with an Elvis impersonator. I shared that. I think I shared that on Instagram back in September. Looking forward to seeing the Eagles win the game. Oh. Corey's jumping right into, so of course, if you're paying attention to American sports, you know that Sunday is the Super Bowl. It's the championship match. Let me read. Hello.
Weird Bear Def just resubscribed for 9 months. Woot.
9
How was your
months.
trip?
Thank you so much. Yeah, we had a pretty good trip, but like I said, I still feel a little bit of imposter syndrome coming back. Like I didn't accomplish enough. Yeah. So, but Sunday is the Super Bowl. That's the championship match for at the end of the knockout tournament. I'm using international football terms here so that folks can understand if they're not familiar. It's the championship match at the end of the knockout tournament at the conclusion of the American football season here, National Football League, the NFL. My hometown and Corey's hometown over there. Corey's hometown, Philadelphia Eagles, are in the match against those repeat champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. And what's difficult for us as Philadelphians to see and understand going into this match, there is a glut of sports analysts that are saying the Chiefs are going to win this, and there's no discussion to be had here. They're going to win this, and they're going to win this by 7 points. Here's the problem that I have with this. These are the folks that are our football analysts. When you look at the numbers, when we look at our statistics, right? When we look at the data, because I'm a programmer, I rely on data. I rely on facts. Facts are derived from data. Fact: the Philadelphia Eagles have the best defense in the league, regular season and playoffs. Fact: the Kansas City Chiefs have the 8th best rushing defense in the league during the regular season, and they're like 6th in the playoffs. Fact: the Kansas City Chiefs give up on average more than 107 yards rushing every game. That's the data. Saquon Barkley, the Eagles' lead rusher, has rushed for more than 2,400 yards this season. He averages more than 120 yards a game. Not one of those analysts talks about just how damaging the Philadelphia rushing attack is going to be. Not one, not a single one of those analysts. No one on ESPN says more than a sentence about Saquon Barkley rushing in this game. So you tell me, are they missing the point? Here's the deal. In the past 20 years of American football, there has been a significant perspective on the passing game. The passing game is what makes or breaks teams. This year's Philadelphia Eagles team has literally broken the backs of every team that they've played because they rush over them and destroy their defense to the tune of 7 plays throughout the year that have run for more than 60 yards. The field is 100 yards long, and more than half the field they've covered in one play rushing into the end zone, including the very first play of the championship game 2 weeks ago. As an engineer, as somebody who relies on data, as somebody who looks at facts, I don't understand why the Philadelphia rushing attack isn't getting respect, isn't getting any kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It isn't being appreciated as something that's going to be very present in this game, as something that you're going to see number 26 in green put up a significant number of yards. So we're going to have some fun watching that. That's Sunday, 6:30 Eastern time. So for those of you that are in Europe, that's like 11:30 at night, 12:30 at night. So if you're going to stay up for it, I'd appreciate it if you supported my boys in green, those Philadelphia Eagles. So let me catch up here. Cymac, thank you so much for the happy partner anniversary. Oh, we're going to take a look at the hat. Go ahead. There we go. Taking a picture, sending it off to be analyzed. I saw a video from our friend Bruno from the Azure developer relations team showing how to use not OpenAI, but how to use Ollama running locally to do this. And I wonder if that would run faster. We'll tinker with that. I've got some plans. You've got Monday booked off so you can stay up and watch it? Nice, Cymac. Are those fighting words? No, they're not. Can they really afford to have egg on their face if it doesn't happen? Eggs are very expensive in the United States right now. McNets asks, how did it go in London and Sweden? I didn't have a problem in London. I've never stepped foot outside of London Heathrow Airport. I have tried to get into conferences as a speaker in the UK. No, not happening. I feel like I'm gonna have to plan and set up. I'd love to go visit Dublin, make a trip over to see Wrexham. I would love to see the Stoke Kairas. That's right. Look at me, referring to the racecourse ground in Welsh. I would love to see a little bit of the UK at some point, and I think I'm going to have to book that travel on my own because I don't think I can get into. I don't think I have the chops to get into a technical event in the UK. But had a great time in Sweden. But it was a whirlwind 2 days in town. Got to spend some time with some fellow technologists that, quite frankly, I don't get to spend enough time talking to, hanging out with, and learning from. So some great conversations there, and fantastic conversation with Eagle Hansen and with Rendell about one of the ideas that I brought up on this stream last week about trying to connect unit tests to requirements or bug reports. How do I connect my unit tests or my playwright tests to them? And the amount of excitement that conversation generated with some of the other speakers from Svetog was unexpected. I was quite happy to hear that. And I have this weird position that I'm in. Ads are going to kick in here in 4 minutes, according to Twitch. I have this weird position that I'm in where I build open source software and I share that with you out here. And there's also a certain amount of I want to contribute to products, to features that my employer sells. And I've been bumping up against a brick wall when it comes to interacting with product teams and bringing feature ideas and interactions to them. So yeah, I'm going to lean into the open source and build it here first mentality until something changes and I see things move over on the other side here. So but the trips were the travel was great in McNett's. No complaints there at all. I'm one of these folks who will request an alcoholic beverage when I'm on a flight, and 9 times out of 10 I don't actually drink it, and I put the bottles in my jacket pocket so that when I arrive at my destination, if I'm late, if I'm having trouble sleeping, I've got a little I don't want to say pick me up, but the other way, to help me get to bed. So who's going to win? The bookies? You better believe it, Eric. Oh, the bookies always win. So Juan Van, hello, good to see you. There you go, the Wrexham hat. Up the town indeed. Smirking Squiggly, happy Friday to you. Some friends and Thindall have spent Super Bowl night eating wings and nom-nomming green cheese dressing. Yes. Well, wait, no, you got to watch the game. You got to watch the game, but chicken wings are the way to do it. Oh my gosh. Between chicken wings, I'm a big popcorn person. I love popcorn. Love popcorn. I will sit here at night, and I've even got an empty popcorn bucket here at my feet. I'll make popcorn, and I'll have it here on my desk, and I'll be writing code. I'll be playing games and noshing on popcorn. So Code with Sean, how you doing there? Robson Previato, good morning to you. The fact that I haven't been accepted to a conference in the UK kind of makes you feel less bad. Yeah. Conferences in the UK, yeah, I don't I haven't been able to break through that. I haven't been able to get through to a conference in Canada. Like, conferences in Canada, I've mentioned this before, they'll turn me down because I'm American. Like, that's a little prejudice. Not gonna lie, that's a little prejudice to come right out and say, sorry, we have too many Americans at this event, so we're declining you. Like, okay, I get it. I'm not happy about it, but you're, as a Canadian, coming right out and saying we're prejudiced against you. Okay, that's fine. Make sure I head up to the Northumberland coast if I ever get the chance. Okay. What's up that way? What should I be looking for, Cymac? Next time I need to visit the .NET compound. Yeah. They give you the Woodford Reserve in a cup. I get the little bottles, right? So I got a couple bottles of Johnny Walker Red on the flight. So yeah, that's right, Thindall. So Jack Daniels they'll usually give you in one of those little mini bottles as well. I've gotten Doers. Yeah. So you never make popcorn, but you will devour if they're in front of you. Svetog has a non-European number of speakers that can be accepted, but that's because of I totally understood, and it sounds like there was some positive feedback about my appearance in town this week. If there's interest in having me back, I would, yeah, we'll work something out there to work that out a little bit better. Would be cool if I could crash this one. The Microsoft AI tour. No. So here's the deal. Microsoft has a lot of really good speakers. A lot of really, really good speakers. Even when they come and speak in my town, I'm not on that agenda. I'm not on that agenda. I am I'm in the minor leagues. They've got a Premier League team here with 11 starters, and they've got 6 folks on the bench that are ready to go for them. I'm still down in League 2. I'm lucky that I'm getting paid to be a part of the team, and when everybody else has other places to go, and there's vacation and there's other things that have taken folks away from things, then you'll see me appear at things for Microsoft. But that doesn't happen. I work for Microsoft. I speak for Microsoft. I teach for Microsoft. But you typically won't see me at a Microsoft event. Thank you, Alu the Crow. Good to see you. Yeah, the tour events. No, you won't see me at those. Even though, yeah, they were in my town, and no. So, my odds for Canadian conferences have just decreased. Oh, they've very much decreased. Oh, smirking squiggly. I don't want to talk about politics on the channel. As an American, I'll leave it at what's being said and done does not represent the opinions of all Americans, and certainly not me. Okay. Thank you, Thindall. That's very kind. Just grab some Octomore scotch. Oh, I have been trying to find Octomore here locally. I have been trying, but scotch in Pennsylvania is not easy to locate the better scotches, and Octomore is hard to find. You were once invited to speak in the UK if I paid all the expenses. That is something that does happen a bit. It does. So, I'm not minor league. No, I am. No. You don't understand. There's very much a pecking order, and I'm way down the line. That's okay. How you doing there? The Neo is watching over on YouTube. Hello, great to see you. Cymax says amazing scenery, beaches, and castles, including Alnwick Castle from Harry Potter. Oh, okay. And Bomberg Castle, which was featured in Forza Horizon 4. Oh, nice. No, we do not. We do not, Chris Funk. Liquor sales in the state of Pennsylvania are controlled by the state. So we do not. Everything is state control store, and everything is purchased by the state. So if the state has not purchased a certain brand, you can't get it in the state of Pennsylvania. And if you bring it over the border from the other states, you are technically a bootlegger, and that is illegal. And you will get fined for that. So, you had it once before you quit drinking, and man, you still remember the great, amazing peat flavor. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Thank you. No. There's, so, oh my goodness.
Chris Jones just resubscribed for 70 months. Afternoon all C# wave.
Hello, thank you so much, Chris Jones. Really appreciate that. 70 months, man. Thank you very much. Hey, Mythin, doing well. Yeah, we need to get that bot cleared out of there. I have reserved the, let me make sure I got this right. I have reserved the ID for Charlie, my new bot that I am writing that we're going to get loaded into the mix here. Where'd it go? Yeah, and it's like Charlie Bot AI, I think is the name of the Twitch account when it comes online. So I'm going to spend a bunch of time this weekend working on Charlie now that I'm on the other side of Sveitog. And I've got a bunch of groundwork done on it. Hopefully we'll get it loaded in and we can start having some fun building and extending that next week. Because I'm going to use Charlie to demonstrate a bunch of AI things that I think are going to be fun to learn, tinker with, and spread the news about. Let me see here. Razor Quinn, thank you so much. Great to see you. Appreciate you chiming in here. Don't worry about it, Charlie. I've got an angle. You'll see more about Charlie soon. For desktop apps, Robson Previato asks, what do I prefer, WPF or WinForms, and why? Simple, WinForms. WinForms has been around for almost 30 years, right? Even in its earlier incarnations before .NET. But WinForms, Windows Forms, was one of the first user interface models that was available for folks to build with in .NET. You had Windows Forms and you had Web Forms. That was pretty much it. If you were building a user interface, those were your choices. Windows Forms has an amazing designer that really makes it fantastic for drag and drop development of applications. Done. Like, building an application with a nice user interface is so easy to do with that designer. And folks like Uno Platform, is that who was doing it? Was it Uno or was it Avalonia? I get the two confused. I think it was Uno that has now a designer that's built into their applications that will allow you to automatically, when the application is running, go and redo the design of the application. It's fantastic. Really great technology that's going to make it easier for folks to build applications with their platform and tools. So, hey, Charlie over here, Charlie544, is joining us and says, just turned my old gaming PC into a home server and booted up Proxmox on it. Time to learn and tinker with VMs and stuff. Hey, that's great. Try and get containers running on there, serving containers from your new server there, and then you can start to set up and tinker with running distributed applications. Hey, thank you for the follow. All the best with you. Let us know how it goes, Charlie. I always like to hear about successes from folks that are experimenting and learning. Razor Quinn with a follow as well. Thank you so much. WPF is nice. Don't get me wrong. WPF is a nice looking user interface. But if you're just building an application that folks need to use and you love the Battleship gray colors, WinForms is just fine. Visual Basic, that's right. And you can have Visual Basic. Web Forms are fantastic. And as a former product manager for Web Forms, thank you. Hey, Ellieface is here. Happy partner anniversary. Thank you. That's very kind. For those of you that don't know, my announcement that I was a partner actually came from Ellieface on her channel because I was so excited. When I came back, I forget, I was out with family at dinner or something. I came back home, looked at my email, and there was the invite to be a Twitch partner. I went and filled it out, and what do I do with this? Where do I go? What do I do? Well, let me go to Twitch and see who else is streaming, and there's our friend Ellieface streaming, and I dropped in and said, hey, how's it going? And for the first time, the partner check was next to my name. And you can find the clip on her channel. So, hey, Ionescu. Let's see. Victory Lane just got a C# job that is in fintech. Fantastic! That's great to hear. Oh my gosh. Congratulations.
Newer Zero Smith.
Thank you for the subscription. I'll get to that in just a second. But big congratulations to Victory Lane. You saw stuff about containers. Haven't looked into them too much. Charlie, think of containers as isolated little parts of a VM that will run and run a specific application in an isolated memory space that you can build and define exactly how it's going to run in its own little pseudo virtual machine. Check it out. It's really, really good. Really good stuff to learn with. We pogged. It was a good time. It was. Thank you, Neurosmith, with the sub, bringing that Prime subscription here. Thank you so much for the support. I said containers, and there's Robert Tables. Yes, it's fantastic to use. Fast to spin up, fast to update. Oh yes, that's right. We said containers, and there's Robert Tables. Absolutely. So, what do you say we get into containers today? Can we do a little bit of that today? Would that be fun? We can do something with that. We've been working on an open source project here. Uh-oh. What happened there? What happened there? My transparency effect. Oh no. Oh no. Fix it. That's better. All right, now I've got my yellow mug. That's right. It's the it works on my machine effect. Invisimug. Yes. So, we've been working on a project called SharpSite here on the stream, where we're building a content management system with Blazor, with C#, and last time we were adding a bunch of tests with Playwright. Playwright lets you script the way that a browser interacts with a website. Really, really convenient, and you can write those scripts in Python, in Java, in JavaScript, TypeScript then if you'd like, and C#. And quite frankly, we're running into some ugly problems with Playwright running as part of our continuous integration process, right? As folks make commits into our project, I mean, it just does not run. It's not so much the tests, but the runtime around the tests. The GitHub Actions runtime does not run reliably at all. So I would like to pull back on those because I don't like these false reports of features not working. I want to revisit that later after we have a chance to focus on getting some other features done, but I'm okay with building, tweaking, and growing that a bit. But let's talk about the container build for this application and see if we can get that first container build working and allocating a container image for us on GitHub. So let me catch up on a couple more comments here. If I use the code mode of hosting an Aspire app service, it will take your service down, build your code, dump that in a container, upload the container to a registry, download that image from the registry, and spin it up. Your site is down the whole time if you're not using slots. You're talking about a Linux. Is that the Linux one? Using the Docker model, you need to set up your own registry, but the spin down, download image, and spin up takes seconds. Yes, it does. Using you've got a GitHub project with a containerized Python Jupyter notebook, Ollama, and another Python Fast API project to host a question. That's a little bit outside my experience there, Eric. It's a lot outside my experience. Let's head over to the code and let's talk about a little bit of what's going on and what we can do. Have some fun with this. How is the keyboard camera? I brought the keyboard with me to Svetog, and I brought it out and showed a couple folks. Where did it go? Where did it go? Keyboard cam. It's a little bit. Yeah. And there were folks from. There we go. It's right over there. There were folks from Logitech that were interested in working with me about some cameras and some other home office studio gear. Yeah, they've ghosted me. They've pulled back, and looks like that's not happening. That's okay. Hey, whatever. So let me see here. So let's get into this. And I mentioned it because of the camera and things here about Logitech. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to turn the keyboard off because you can't see half the code I want to show here. So yeah, there's a couple of actions here, but the playwright tests have just been dreadfully unreliable on GitHub Actions. And I don't like that. For right now, I'm going to disable the playwright tests. Just because I do not want to fight with that. It's not something. It's something that I really want to get running, but at the same time, it's not picking up, and we spent hours iterating on this thing last time, and it's just not behaving properly. So I'll back off on this for now, and we'll revisit it. And that also means when I look at my issues here for the current milestone we're working on, well, I really, really want to get these working. This one we can get done, but here I'm gonna just move it out because it's not failing reliably with the same issues every time, and it just feels like there's something ugly in there that I'm going to spend way too much time investigating for something on stream. Hey, Tech Tony K on YouTube asks, how important is Link for 5 years of experience for interviews? I just you don't vibe with it. It saves a lot of time, but yes. How important is Link? Well, I think it's very important. Link, right? LINQ, Language Integrated Natural Query, is a fantastic tool that you can use for building and working with .NET C# applications. Now, if you're asking me about the query syntax versus predicate syntax, query syntax, no, it's not important at all. Not many people use query syntax for Link. Not many people at all. There are JavaScript developers that are so envious about Link in C#. Absolutely, Sean. You can always drop a link to that kind of stuff. So, Tech Tony K. The predicate syntax with Link is very, very good. Tell me a little bit more about what you mean by you don't vibe with it. What can we do to get you unstuck and talk through what isn't working well for you here? There you go. You can check out Code with Sean's session about it. Would I consider making a project with chat? I am. Right. In fact, here I've got to drop the link here. This is an open source project we're working on. Adding container generation to SharpSite. This is, yeah, RazorQuid. Yeah, so check it out. There's a link to it. Let me make sure I pin that. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link to SharpSite in the description just below, okay? SharpSight is an open source project that we are working on together that will... there's... Go to the current working branch here, Fritz. This is what we're working on. This is a content management system that is intended to be similar to have the same extensibility capabilities as WordPress. It's heavily inspired by WordPress, and we're putting some advanced programming features into it. We're also putting some simpler programming features in here so that folks at all different levels can learn something about working with .NET. So there's links from there that'll bring you right into the repository over here. So I'm going to take some time later today to do these recordings to kind of summarize what's going on and where SharpSight came from. Let me see here. Tech Tony says, I'm a full stack dev, actually. I write code with React Native, Spring Boot, and .NET Core simultaneously. Oh man, that's impressive, Tech Tony. Okay. Switching in these is complicated. It is. No doubt, right? Even as somebody who's a .NET developer, switching between the various user interface frameworks, right? CSS frameworks, C#, even if I'm using Blazor for front-end development and back-end development, I still have to work with SQL, still have to work with all these other languages and HTML and whatnot. So yeah, it's a lot of different languages to juggle in our human brains here. That's right, it does, Sean. Yep, the Restream bot sends it to both sides. So, all right. Thank you. That's very kind, Sean. All right. I had this open. Update playwright test to not use a persisted database volume. I think I did some of this. I don't know where I left off. Let me take a look at where I left off, and we'll jump in and figure out what are the next things here. So v06, but I've got 3 changed files out there. What are my changed files? End-to-end testing, app Postgres extensions. Tell me more about those changes. I'll use Visual Studio Code here to bring this up, and we'll take a look-see. Hey, look, it's Copilot over here. Goodbye. Thank you. And I want to look at the differences that are hanging out here. Build and test. What's changed in there? Tinkering with the parallel running. First login tests. Getting a screenshot and Postgres extensions up here. Right there. So the script up here is passing in an argument when it starts to say test only true. I think I can simplify this a little bit, eliminate some of these other things, and we can commit this and have that have playwright test with a and not save the data volume. I think we can do that here in just a few seconds. Tech Tony says Java and C# are relatively same to write, but writing the query related to link the DB queries is a pain. Okay, so you're talking about entity framework and doing the database queries with link. So what I would tell you, Tony, where I would lean in as a developer would be with something like a repository pattern right? I would lean in and say, well, I like to use the repository pattern so I can hide a lot of that junk. So, like, here's a repository pattern that I'm using to interact with Postgres for adding pages and saving pages information in the database, right? And here I'm getting a specific page from the database, and I've got my little link query right here. Right, and sure, that's fine, but where I would lean in here even more, right? Where I would lean in and where I think you can sound smarter is to talk about how, to your point, and McNetz is hinting at it as well, combine it with stored procedure syntax. Okay, so here's what you can do, Tony. Entity framework and using link to get data from the database is nice when you have just straight selects against one table like this. Go to my pages table and go get appropriate data and filter it and bring it back, right? Or here, go to the pages table with no tracking and convert it to my page model, bring it back as a list. Simple. When you start to want to join into other tables and you have additional business logic, and to your point, you want to use a stored procedure, using another syntax so that you can use that SQL syntax. Entity Framework does support that. However, McNetz points out the one that I would choose, Dapper, allows me to use a lightweight connection and get that information easily. So you can sound more intelligent in your interview by saying, I like to wrap my request to the database using a repository pattern so that when my link queries become more complicated, I can seamlessly change my implementation to a straight stored procedure and use a lightweight ORM, object relational mapper, like Dapper, to return data, and the rest of my application doesn't need to be concerned with those database architecture choices and interactions. What do you think, Tech Tony? And chat, the rest of you out there, I know you've been part of some of these discussions. What do you think? Does that help with the interview process? Is that something that would sound acceptable to you as somebody who might be interviewing someone who's trying to get a job? Let me know there in chat, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch. I know you're out there watching. Let's talk a little more about that. I'm going to snooze. Ads we're going to kick in here in another minute or two. I'm going to snooze those for a couple minutes here on Twitch so we can talk more before the ads kick in. I'm going to check out a branch here while I'm waiting for some of you to type there in chat. I'm going to check out a working branch for this feature. Let's call it a fix. Right, but I'm going to check out a branch here, and we'll call this fix. Test with data volume. Right? Sure, that sounds good. And, going to take a look at the hat. Go for it. There you go. And, yeah, I'm going to clean this up just a little bit so it's focused on just that feature that I want to deliver. So down here, when this executes, I'm going to take out this parallel bit here, and further down here, yeah, I don't need that stuff. I'm going to just discard the changes. Yeah, I do want to discard the changes. Thanks so much. So my build and test script up here, this should run and tell it we're starting up the database, starting up the application just to run tests. And my first login test, that's taking a screenshot. I don't need that included here. Go ahead and discard that change. And this is in my Postgres configuration. And it's looking at this test only flag. Where is that being? It's being passed in there. Yeah. Let's walk up. Let's see, where are we at here? Ah. If we have a test-only flag, go parse it and set it. And we'll pass that into Postgres. Good. So, so it will... What? So the change... DB server equals DB server with lifetime. Container lifetime persistent. Yeah. Oh, it drops the with data volume. I think that's what I want. Look at here. Yeah. It drops all the information about with pgadmin when we're running tests so that it doesn't run the Postgres admin. And it also isn't forcing a data volume. So I think that's what I want. Let's run the test and see what happens. Right? I mean, we'll run the test and then I'll come back to chat and talk a little bit more over there about some things because I'm here to talk to you, chat. So here we go. It's going to run the tests and things right now. That's right. It's my Wrexham AFC crest hat. You shifted to Dapper, and this is the reason I keep forgetting things for Entity Framework. That's okay. You got a new DBA friend as well added to the team. Okay. For the same reason Dapper is emitting, you just lost touch of Entity Framework. That's okay. I think that's okay, Tony. I'm on board with you there. There's lots of different database tools, and it's not too hard to jump back in and get back up to speed on some of those. So I think you're okay, Tony. And very cool to hear that you're using Dapper. It is a fantastic tool. It really is. The folks at Stack Overflow that built that did a nice job. All right, so we found a couple of our... well, we found one test that's failing here. Any other tests that are failing? Going once. Going twice. So... this doesn't feel good. There we go. Timeout of 30 seconds exceeded. What do we got here? Waiting for going and finding the logout button on the logout test. Okay. So let's make sure we get these fixed to start here. Can view profile is the test that's running here. Locator expected to be visible for the manage profile. So let's take a look at these tests. So can view profile. Let's close that. Right, can view, no, it's inside of profile tests. Right. Profile tests. Why can't it find that? Sharp site end-to-end testing. Okay. Well, this feels bad. Authenticated page tests. You are going to another page. Because you are another class. You go somewhere else. You are another page. Another class. You go somewhere else. Let me throw a couple commits in here and we'll start investigating further. I'm going to first start off with Sharp site, app host. Yeah. Now running Postgres in test mode. Right? And I'll git push and create the branch for that. All right. Right, this one, yeah, the database server only has a lifetime of the session, so it knocks it down when the database is done. Catching up with chat. Wait for visible before acting in the automation. I think you're right. We'll dig into that a little bit there. John, how you doing? On YouTube. Digital Dummy asks, do I have any plans for running an AI model locally? I think so, yes. I think that's going to be the direction that I'll go with running Charlie, because there's a lot to do there. Love from India. Oh, fantastic, Tony. Oh my gosh. All the best to you. Let us know how it goes, Tony. We want to be able to celebrate your success with you. All right? So I think I'm okay with that for now. And this, we've cleaned that up a little bit, but over here in the profile tests, it was deleted now. And go run the tests again. Go run that again so that we know what's going on here. So starting the website, here it is. Log into the dashboard and tell me the website's running. Come on, tell me the website's running. Website started, good. Hip is on meds after surgery. Ooh, ooh. Hey, ice cream stick model, hello. Come on now. Here's the problem. It's I don't think. Where's that Docker button? Yeah, it didn't shut down the database properly last time. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't. It's still out there running. Okay. The way that the launch script runs, it doesn't shut down the application cleanly, so those Docker images are out there running still. I did the Control-C, and it did properly remove the other database image. And the volume is gone that it allocated previously. That it allocated for this run. So the question is, how do we properly kill? How do we properly knock down? Right, we run this process. If I kill it, with stop process down here, it doesn't clean up the containers. Thank you for the follow. So how do we send a Control-C into that process? That's annoying. That's annoying. And this is where I left off last time, right? Let's start off asking Copilot chat. How can I run two processes in parallel with PowerShell? So there it is running in the background. Run another second process. Check to see if it's running. Wait for it's running. How do I gracefully send a Control C keystroke into the first process so that it stops? Yeah, there we go. Hey, DGen1. Couple of pull requests from our friend DGen1 there that we're going to look at in a little bit. You can use stop process commandlet. However, stop process does not send Control C signal. It terminates. To send a Control C, you need to use send keys from Windows Forms. Requires the process to have a visible window. No, it doesn't have a visible window. Have I changed the model? I'm using GPT-4o. Right, I could flip to one of the other ones. But this won't work. So how can we gracefully shut down the other? Really? People have found that OpenAI models have been hallucinating more. This is similar to what I got previously. Okay, I don't want to kill it. I need to somehow pause and stop it. They're training them with LSD. Yes, that's right. Timothy Leary is teaching your Copilot model what to do. Can I turn around the order of these and start the test first? What if I drop the force? Use the force, Fritz. Use the force. Particularly, why use the force argument? It does not send the Control C signal. So if we try dropping that. And then. And commuting time. Have a good one, McNets. Application started. Yeah, see, and I don't think the website is getting... Yeah. Let me go back into here. This one. There's even another one down here. 3 of them. You go away. You go away. And you go away. And there were volumes that went with them that... I'm not going to tinker with that for right now, but... Run it again. You have a class which inherits another... And a controller which inherits another one. I need to access... I need to see some code that you're talking about. You got me a little confused. Tintoretto. It doesn't see the website running at all. Like, it's there, man. Those are okay. Because it can't find it and then says, all right, well, then I'm going to go apply the migrations. And there's the website. Nothing. It won't start. Well, this is a problem. Okay. Why won't you start? Database is running. Yeah. What have I done? Let's take a look a little bit closer there. And... Oh, it doesn't... That's right, it doesn't open the thing. So there it is, and it's pgadmin is starting, and if I try and get into this jammy, it works. And if I try and get into the HTTP one, that works. So run it that way. And... Why you do this? Let's go. Well, okay. Now I'm getting a finished statement here. What did you... And it's saying that those don't exist. And there it applied the migrations. Am I missing? So that is a proper error scenario. Let's go take a look at app host. What is that? Never seen that before. Deprecated extensions detected. That sounds so happy. Wait for the database migration service. So why didn't it wait for it? Add Postgres services. Yeah. Uh-huh. It's like it didn't try again. Whoa!
Blazer Mr. Magoo just resubscribed for 79 months. Party hat happy partner anniversary.
Thank you so much. Blazer, Mr. Magoo, 79 months. Man, thank you so much, friend. More than 6.5 years with us. Fantastic. Thank you so much for the support. That's awesome. Why isn't it starting in order? Right? Like, wait for... Does it need to be wait for completion? Try that again. There it is starting. There's the migration service. Now it's running. There it goes. So maybe it's the difference between wait for and wait for completion. Yeah. No more coffee. All gone. Ba-boom. All right, here we go. Different errors now. Different errors this time. So, can login failing, looking for site admin. This is... And this is the only one that failed it, so here's the error down here as well. It's the same thing. Now, did that shut down the database? Yes. No, it's right there. Let me shut that down. Yeah. It... It's not shutting down and releasing yet. Back over to the scripts. Oh, I still have the force on it. Use the force, Fritz. No, don't. So there's the database. I don't need Open Web UI running. Okay, application started. Website is running. Good. But see this database right here? Test completed successfully, and it did not clean up the containers. Have a good one, Sean. Where can we... All right, so... What does run return anything? No. The debugger detaching or the browser associated with the dashboard being closed. What else do we have here? You remember back when this channel was called Punch Card Fritz?
What's that?
That's old. That's what that is. What other arguments can I pass into this? There's a dispose on that, John. Run async. Start async. Stop async. It normally just calls run. But if I called run async, right? I could check to see if a kill file is written or something that will kill the process. Right? That will stop it. I could do something like that, couldn't I? So that I have a way to run this a little bit. The heck? I'm not adding that project. No. Down here. No. Start the site with run async and watch for a file to be created called kill aspire, stop aspire. Yeah, to stop the site. That's right. Yep. Site equals. Yeah. Um. What do we got? No, I don't want to call stop. Actually, what I want is right. If I did, yeah, equals that. Right, then I can say the site run async. The site stop async. Right? Actually, I can do a file system watcher here. Convert this to use a file system watcher. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now back over here, instead of saying stop process, right? Replace this with the creation of a file called stop aspire. You didn't replace. I should delete that file. Make sure that it's deleted before it starts here. Delete the stop. Yeah, there you go. Do that. Mm-hmm. Let's go. Try it. Like I'm game. Starting the application. Log into the dashboard. Yeah. You're opening somewhere, aren't you? There it is. Website's running. Yeah. Running, running, running. Database is still there. That's the other one. This one looks like it. Do that again. Yeah, look at that. It's still running. Up here. It's looking in the wrong folder. It's looking in the wrong folder when that's running. Right? This is looking in... Yeah, it's looking in the current folder, which means we need to write this into the bin debug folder. Update this to write into the AppHost projects bin debug folder. Right, is that the right location? I think it is, right? Go up one. It's in source, SharpSite, AppHost, bin. Oh, debugnet 9.0. Ooh, I don't like that. So down here, right, this becomes, oops, that. There we go. Do I code in C# because my name is C#, or is my name C# Fritz because I code in C#? I code in C# first, and then I took the name C# Fritz because the name of my blog initially was C# on the Fritz, poking fun at I was going to do things that are broken in C#. I wasn't going to have very good processes working with C#. Nope, didn't kill the database. It's still out there. So when it came time for me to create a Twitter handle, I wanted the Twitter handle of C# on the Fritz, and it was too long for Twitter, so I dropped the on and the, and I just became C# Fritz. So, Magnivio? Is it Wasm Blazor or web app? This is Blazor with Blazor server-side rendering primarily. However, it also has an interactive server component. There is no WebAssembly in this project yet. There probably will be, but we're not there yet. It did not ever say website is stopping. So it never called the kill process on the other application bit here. Did it actually write the stop aspire file though? So it's in source, sharpsite app host, bin, debug, net9. It's there.
Oh my.
I know. So it should be running here in test only mode. Try it again. Yeah, it's still out there running. Can I do a kill 9 on 46940? No. No, it's, what is it? What's the command to kill process in Windows? What is the command line to kill a process in Windows? Task kill, is that the one I'm thinking of? 46. Where'd it go? 940. I have to give it I have to specify that it is the process ID. Not found. Not found my foot. Currently working a career which has amazing work-life benefits, but I feel like my work is useless and I don't get excited about it. But the work-life balance allows me to do the other things I enjoy. Do I think I will regret this later down the road? I hear you. I totally hear you. Will you regret it later down the road? Maybe. What don't you enjoy about... that's bad. That's... No. Don't answer that. Talk to your manager. Talk to your supervisor. You shouldn't feel like your work is useless. There's... Cheeky, can I call you Cheeky? Are we on a first name basis there, Cheeky? With respect, Cheeky. quite frankly, that's exactly how I feel after coming back from a trip speaking in Sweden. That I was excited about it. I do enjoy it, about that part of my job. I similarly don't feel like the organization appreciates the work that I do. What I do to try and generate some appreciation for what I do, document and share that kind of information. So, hey, Frank with a raid. There's our friend, F. Boucheros. That's Frank Boucher. Good to see you, Frank. Hello. Yeah, I very much have felt recently, over the last year, that the travel, the speaking that I do at events, appreciated's the wrong word, but is it bringing value that the team is seeking? And I'm very much of the mindset that the answer to that is no. That traveling and speaking at events for the team is not valued by them. It's not valued by them. So, it's definitely appreciated. Oh, it's definitely appreciated by the developers and the folks that I teach and interact with. And that is 100% the reason why I do that. To be perfectly clear, I don't give a damn what my employer thinks about whether or not I'm going out and speaking at events. I could care less if they approve or disapprove. I got written up and nearly fired from a previous employer because I took vacation time to go and speak at a conference, okay? Let's be perfectly clear on that. It makes me extremely happy to be able to teach and encourage and get more folks excited about technology. I love doing that with all my heart. No question about that whatsoever. The challenge that I struggle with right now is, am I at a point in my career where that delivers value to the products that I work with? So it's so cheeky. That's right. That's where I'm in a similar place here, and writing up and sharing documentation of what was successful, what are the things that we're accomplishing to move the needle forward, can generate a little bit of appreciation and folks writing back and wanting to know more. So that's what I'm going to be doing over the weekend, putting together that report with some photos to share and see if it generates some appreciation. And if there isn't, then I'm going to do the things that I enjoy and figure out a way to make it more valuable to the organization. But I firmly believe that the value isn't there anymore. How do you quantify that? Hard to say. Very hard to say. Are folks writing back and asking questions about trip reports in my case? Are folks asking questions about the products, that the software that you're delivering, the features, the capabilities that you are bringing and encouraging the organization? Right? It's important on us as employees, as contributing team members, to be delivering value that the rest of the organization desires. And if you're not bringing value that they want, you might be bringing value. You might be doing some really cool stuff, but if they don't care about it, then all you're doing is making noise and distracting people. So there's a balance. There's a balance. And I'm not scheduled to deliver any more in-person conference sessions for the rest of 2025. That's okay. That's fine. If that's something that needs to change, we'll change that. But not my... I reach many, many more folks here live on this stream than I do in person. Do I deliver a better, significantly better experience in person? You betcha. You betcha. We got to balance that. We got to balance that. That's all. Do I test Project Tori plus Blazor? I'm not familiar with Tori. What's Tori? Help me out there. I still can't figure out why this won't stop. Why won't this stop? It's looking here. Where's here? Is that supposed to be at the... Is that at the root of the project that it's looking? Am I pointing in the wrong folder? I could be pointing in the wrong folder. You never know. So let's try yoinking that and that. And we'll yoink this also. I've also been killing time here, hoping that it died on its own. Go ahead and try running that again and see what we do here. Right, the question is, where is that dot? Ooh, look at this. Ooh. Address already in use. There it is. Stopping the site, stopping the site. Okay. Okay. I think we might have found something. There it is, running. Starting the site in test mode. Good. Okay, website's running the tests. Stopping the site. Look at that. Go over to Docker. Database is cleaned up. It's gone. These are old volumes. I think I can safely delete those. Right? Phil!
Phil Vesey shared 100.
They're not releasing properly. Thank you so much, Phil. Really appreciate the cheer. Yeah, found it! Bits for Azure bills. Thank you so much. Yes. So, in case you didn't hear, a couple streams ago, I did announce that I will no longer be donating my subscriptions and cheers. We've been using a lot of Azure resources, and I've been paying significant Azure bills, and the cheers and subs will be rolling over to help pay for some of the Azure things that we're learning about here on stream and some of the other resources that we stand up and work with here. So if that's running successfully, first off, the rest of my tests ran successfully as well. So there's that running, and there's... Right there's... Look at that. Oh my goodness.
PowerShell
Freak
just gifted 5 subs.
5 gift subs into the channel. Thank you so much for that. Ninja Bit Dev, Akiza's father, Illyria Pan, Mountain Coder, and Specky1313. Congratulations. You just got a gift subscription from our friend PowerShell Freak, and the hype train is on.
Far 13.
Thank you for the subscription there. Appreciate that. Bringing that Prime subscription. That's right. Prime's out there. If you're already using Amazon Prime because you want the free shipping and you want the free music and free videos out there, so you can watch things like what's on Amazon right now? I forget. You've also got Twitch Prime available to you. Oakleus with a Prime sub. You can bring that. It costs you nothing
Yes.
here. You get a free subscription to one channel on Twitch. I'm flattered if you bring it here. And Phil with another cheer. Thank you. That's very
Felvesi
kind.
cheered 150.
We are in the middle of a level 2 hype train. 70% there with a couple minutes to go on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, hey, thanks so much. But the folks on Twitch are participating and cheering here. And oh my goodness.
Fred just gifted 1 subs.
Thank you for the gift sub. Appreciate that. Zeka Geo, congratulations. You just got a gift subscription. From, is it Breast Read? Okay. Welcome. Thank you so much for that. And that's a level 2 hype train.
Just resubscribed for 10 months.
Shererja, thank you so much. Appreciate it. You ended your stream dancing. You really needed that bio break. Oh boy. Oh boy, Frank. So this looks like it's properly shutting things down over here now and cleaning up our resources. We're in the middle of a level 3 hype train here. Much appreciate. We're working towards level 3 of the hype train. Thank you so much out there for the support. But now we're hitting those timeouts. Playwright test failed, stopping the site. So it is, and these feel unreliable again. Frank with the resub, bringing that prime.
Fucheros just resubscribed for 40 months. Yay.
40 months with us. Thank you so much. And pushing that level 3 hype train to 24%. Thank you so much. Here we go. And website is running the test, and see, it runs fine that time. But I think this is a much more reliable way to run the test now. You know? But it feels like there's a timing thing going on in one of the tests out there. Application started. We'll see the... Yeah, there we go. Are any of the volumes left after the shutdown? Let's take a look. So there we just saw the database disappear. Over here under volumes... Yeah, they seem to be getting cleaned up, right? These are ones that were out here from a little bit ago, and it's not releasing it. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to restart Docker for it to release these files, and that's okay. We'll come back and get them, but the volumes that are being created are being cleaned up, and this seems a little bit more reliable now. So let's get rid of that stop aspire file. Source, sharpsite, app host. I feel like I should add that to gitignore. Right? Let's go back over to VS Code. Here. Stop aspire. Let's add all of that. Clean run with Docker cleanup. All right. Let's run the test one more time. Right? And it shouldn't find the stop aspire file there because we added it to gitignore. So, yeah, that's right, Urban Blaster. Hell yeah. Yep, so volumes are all cleaned up, which is what we were trying to accomplish here. If this is all working good, we'll move along here. Why does it... I just got a thing popping up here on Twitch that says gift 1 sub for award. I don't know what that means. There we go. Test ran successfully, stopping the site, and it doesn't see the stop Aspire file. Fantastic. Git push. I wonder if that's actually going to run properly on the big GitHub Actions now. I'm going to mark this one, 275, as the one we're addressing here. Put that into V06. Yep. Fixes 275. Create the pull request. Here we go. What's today's project? Stuff. Playwright doesn't run very reliably on GitHub Actions. And that's a hype chest. What's a hype chest? A personal best emote. Okay. Sure, there you go. Hype chests are on their way to the folks that subscribed and cheered there during the hype train. Thank you so much. Even though this is disabled, can I run? No, I can't. We'll go ahead and enable it. Let's see what it does. But I think I actually have to merge to trigger this. So, there we go. So go over to this one. And this should just build and be complete, no problem here. Right? Yep. Running the unit test, done. Cleaning everything up. Yay. Alright, so go back over here. Yes, this one. Squash and merge that, John. Yep. Make it so. Deleted that branch. I'll come back over here and close this. But let's see if it actually gets somewhere with the playwright tests. And if it doesn't, then I'll just disable it again, but let's see what it does. Side comment on the commit, trigger the hype train. I like the way you're thinking there. Alright, setup.net, doing all these things, build the .NET solution, yeah. Let's see where it gets to. Installing the Playwright browsers is typically where this slows down a little bit. Hello, hello.
Aztec Consulting just resubscribed for 53 months. Time marches on and I'm still proud to support your hard work.
Thank you so much, Aztec. Really appreciate it. 53 months with us. How you doing there, my friend? That is very kind. Thank you so much for the resub. What happened here? No, that's not me. We're good. All right. Here we go. Running the test. Now it's running the test here. Let's see how it does with it now that we have our little async test mode running. There, look. Starting the site in test mode. That was us. Log into the dashboard. Remember, there's a distributed application running bit that appears here next. And we changed the wait for, so it's a wait for completion on the database migration service. Website is running. Here comes the test execution. Here we go. Wait! That ran properly. Friends, that ran properly. Okay. And it created the badge for the playwright tests. It's not uploading the badge because it's not being merged into main. I'm going to leave this running. 6 tests over on that side, 9 tests over on this side. There's a way we have to like merge those together. But if I go back over here and we look at yeah, see, the published results there aren't entirely accurate. Like, we need to figure out a way to merge that. One step closer. I agree, Mythin. Yeah. Okay. I do feel better about that. Ads just kicked in over there. It is a fiddly merge process, no doubt. Let's edit this. And we'll do the same thing here. And that is being done, but this needs to be done with the report being written properly. So I feel good about that. I'm going to come back to this. There's a way to update the reports so that it looks at multiple report publishes and brings them all together as one. There were notes on that I was looking at. I should include them here. Let's grab that. Let me dig that back up and at least link it, so if somebody wants to go look at it, they can. No, take me over to the 06. This one, it is this action, which you can get to at github.com. Yeah. There's notes on managing multiple test runs and merging to a single report at I'm going to share this link. If anybody's interested in contributing and looking into this, there it is. I've marked this as up for grabs. If you have some spare time, if you have some experience working with GitHub Actions and you want to take a look at this, if you send us a pull request, I'll add you to our list of contributors, and you will get my thanks here on stream as we review your code. So that's out there, and we'll dig into that a little bit more another time. Let me take a look here. This is in draft, so I won't look at that yet. So there's 2 commits here by dgen1. Let's look at this one. Add. I thought, oh no, that's in draft also. Okay. Fix the file system name traversal bug. Added an isValid directory to check the directory name in the plugin manager. I'm not sure if checking reserved names is necessary, but I kept it since Copilot suggested it. Okay. Added an exception, invalid folder exception, to Sharpside Abstractions file storage. It's used to communicate between plugin manager and the file storage file system. Okay. Made application state configuration section changed async to get the error to bubble up to plugin config. Okay. Otherwise, the directory would not get created. Blah, blah, blah. Adjusted unit tests accordingly. Oh, man. All right. What do we got? So this will fix 257, which is the file system plugin should not allow folder traversal names. Yes. Okay. Let's take a look at the files that you changed. So in the file system configuration, we're going to catch an invalid folder exception and rethrow it. That's fine. Because there is an exception here that attempts to do some retry operations here. Here's our invalid folder exception. Base invalid folder location. Okay. I think I'm okay with this message being English. We might need to translate that later. Application state. Change from event handler to a func that takes application state, I# site configuration, and returns a task. Yep. And that's how it's being run asynchronously then. Cool. Catch exception and throw. Mm-hmm. And we're awaiting set configuration section. Nice. Plugin manager taking interrupt services. What did you add here? And there's the async for this. Await on configuration changed. Yeah. All right, I'm good with that. If not is valid directory. Throw invalid folder exception, invalid path for folder. Fantastic. And another check for that as well. Invalid characters, path get invalid path characters. Makes sense. Invalid path segments. Tilde, double period, so it navigates up. Slash or double backslash. Yeah. Yeah. Reserved names. That's a good list of reserved names that I can tell there, so it's not trying to write to a device. Yep. Why catch and throw? Is there a benefit? There was a catch exception, catch-all at the end that was attempting to retry some things. So catch the specific exception that I do want to bubble up. That we do want to bubble up, not me, but we, the project team, would like to bubble up and rethrow it. So this is a proper exception to raise. Where some other exceptions we may want to say, you know what, just try to create the folder. And here's the is valid directory. If the name submitted is white space or it's empty, it's not a valid directory name. If operating system platform is Windows and reserved name contains reserved names, the devices contains that, false. If the length is greater than 255, that's bad. If it contains one of the invalid characters. So if you add extra folder location information, drop it. Yeah. If it ends with a space or if it ends with a dot. We might not need the front half of this if we trimmed the name first, right? Just drop off any spaces at the end. But certainly the name ending with a dot, yeah. So I'm okay with that, I think. When adding a new section, made that an async task because it's now awaitable, that's fine. Yep, that's fine. And that's another await handler. Cool. And this built properly? Looks good to me. All right. Thank you so much. And there we go. Merged in, and that'll be part of the 06. And this fixes 257. Did it close 257? Nope. That's fine. Close it. All right. And these two are in draft. I'm going to... oh, well, this is the milestone. That's fine. This might work now. This might work now. Redirect standard output to output.log. Is that that's the only conflict in here? Let's try it. So the incoming change. Yeah. I'll take that. And go ahead, commit that. Let's see if this works. It's not actually going to run it. Yeah, it's not going to run that one. Yeah. Let's take it. So now that's going to build on... Now, why didn't... Oh, no. Oh, yeah, there... Well, that's the merge that we did just a little bit ago. Yeah, that all ran properly. Look at that. That feels good. There we go. Okay. So here's the new playwright test that should hide the app host logs. Let's see what we get. So building the solution, this way it gets the playwright tests. The playwright browser install scripts. Oh man, this feels good. And then we can get into the Docker container that we wanted to build. I like it. And then we can dial up Robert Tables and talk further. Where did it go? I have... Yeah, I have to go in a little bit here because I do have... I've been invited to record a podcast this afternoon. So I need to get that on board. Here we go. Let's see. There's all the installs. Yep. Oh, running the test. Here we go. And the right the build and launching the website isn't being reported here. That's good. It's also not writing out the start and stop console log that I wrote. But we're only about 30 some seconds in. Yes. And come on. There it is. All right. We got it. We got it. So our playwright tests now are running much more reliably. And what we learned was we had to add that little the handler so that it knows it's running in CI. Right? It's running in a test mode and it should stop itself when I tell it to stop. And we're forcing it to stop by creating a file on disk for it to look for. What other ways could we send a signal to it from outside the process? Yeah, is it Jazz Airy? Yeah, it's definitely helping it to learn its own scope, right? So all of our tests ran properly there. That's great. That's terrific. And that means our playwright badge over here should be updating properly on the V06. Well, it didn't upload it, but the end-to-end test badge here will update and reflect when we merge this into production. I'm okay with that for now. 3 pull requests left. So DGen 1 is looking at adding some more unit tests. That's in draft mode. I'm not going to create any pressure and browse into that now. That's out there being worked on. I'm okay with that. If you want to contribute some tests, if you want to spend some time writing some code and contribute, unit tests, playwright tests are always welcome to be contributed at any time to the current milestone that we're working on. I wanted to work on this Docker container build script right here. creating a release process that delivers a container to a GitHub registry. Is Dr. Robert Tables out there? The Docker Doctor Robert Tables. Is he out there? Paging Robert Tables, the Docker Doctor, the Doctor of Containers. Hello? You out there? Is there a yes. Is there a Docker Doctor in the house? Dr. Docker. Docker Doctor? Docker Doctor or Docker Doctor of Docker. The what's a title of respect? What is a title of respect that starts with C that we can use in an alliteration? Alliterative reference for someone who is an expert with containers. Go ahead, give me something. Docker? Doctor? 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 Doctor. Captain of containers. That's a good one. There you go. He's our container captain. The connoisseur of containers. I like that one better. I like the connoisseur of containers. I'm going with that one. So I started down this path of creating a release process of creating a container image for SharpSite. Let me update my stuff here. And we're going to delete fix test with data volume. Right? And pull in the changes. Thank you. Terrific. Ship it! Close. Close. This is... Where'd it go? I thought I'd started a branch on this. Started a pull request on this. But I don't see it. All right, so we wiped this. Why? I feel like this Docker file isn't too bad. But publish container. I think we need to update this so it also gets the... So it gets the tag that it's associated with. Or it only runs on release. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to restore this. Still says closed. Reopen. We need to identify the tag associated with the release and tag the image, tag the container image with that value, the container image should only be built on a release. I'm going to park this for now because it is 12:30. I have a podcast to record in about a half an hour. I'm scheduled to record another podcast. Literally, I recorded a podcast for Blazer Puzzle next week. I recorded a Blazer podcast that's going to be published later today. Blazer Puzzle podcast going out later today. I'm scheduled for recording a podcast this afternoon, and I'm scheduled to record another podcast. I think it's in March. Like, it's really far out how they scheduled that one. So I need to get through those. I want to record a YouTube video or two. Let me get over to chat. Let me wrap things up here, and we can talk a little bit more before I head out, because I'd like to get a little lunch before I head over and take care of these things. Let me catch up here. Could I put something in the image metadata as well? Well, what would you put in the image metadata other than the release tag version? The release, right? The release version is typically the tag that you would put on the container image. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad. Is there somewhere else that you might include that? Maybe putting release notes as a markdown file inside the inside the container. I don't have a release notes process yet, but that could be a thing. What do you think, chat room? I'm not sold on other information to add besides the version number, but if there is additional information to add, I'm up for it. I would absolutely consider it. That makes sense. So let me wrap things up here for today, because I think, even though I didn't dive into the container, I think we got breaking changes. Well, I think breaking changes would go with a release note, and that release note process is something that we should consider at some point here as we start publishing real versions. We had a fantastic stream today. I was all set to shut down Playwright and really back it off as a removed part of our release process. But I feel really good about those changes we put in. And it even, I'm now even thinking more about what we did. Do we even let the Playwright tests run in the pull request process? Like, looking back over here, now I'm reconsidering and thinking, those Playwright tests that we added in there, right? I have them only running if it's not a pull request, right? If it's actually being pushed into a branch. But maybe I can let it run on a pull request and see what it does. Like, I'm okay with that. Allow Playwright to run for all PRs. Yeah. Put that in that, John. And that should run. There it goes. And we'll see how that goes. So, fantastic. Always a pleasure writing code with you here, chat. Of course, over the weekend, I will not be streaming. I'll be hanging out on Discord, answering questions. Probably going to iterate less on Sharpsight over the weekend, and I really want to spend time on Project Charlie, my new chatbot we're going to be rolling out here. I really want to get some progress on that. So, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out Sharpsight. Sharpsight.org is where you can see the public website for that. You can see links to get into the GitHub repository. This weekend is the Super Bowl. If you don't have a rooting interest over there, my Philadelphia Eagles would appreciate your support. All right? Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me see who else is streaming on the big Twitch TV network. Who can I get you connected to that might be doing something fun, something interesting out there that we can support and we can dive in and have some fun with? Let me get you connected to... Oh my gosh, you know who's streaming? Oh my gosh, our friends Patch and Switch are streaming. Let's go raid them. That's Joey Snow and Rick Claus. We are going to drop in on them. Thank you so much. I'll see you on Monday. Hopefully we'll be celebrating a Philadelphia Eagles win on Monday in the Super Bowl. Like I said, I'll be in the Discord all throughout the weekend answering questions and having a good time. All right? Have a fantastic day wherever you might be. I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.